Hello,
Hello, we're back again.
Sorry, we were a little bit late, but we've come upstairs basically. So now you can see our other salon upstairs, which is where we hold all our dancing classes actually. So see, beautiful, look beautiful.
It's very lovely, beautiful.
Huge, opposite the sea. So
got a lovely view out there.
So if you fancy doing Argentine tango, this is the place to come. At the new hotel. Anyway, we're very happy we've got our second guest with us, Mikala James. Welcome.
Mikala.
Who, it's really funny, she, completely by coincidence, she actually knows our previous guest.
Yes, so strange. That was meant to happen, wasn't it?
So this is very strange. So Mikala, you are, tell us a bit about yourself. You're an artist, I believe.
I'm an artist. I'm also a trained life coach. I have done a lot of work in community development and stuff like that. So I've actually combined my skills to develop an art therapy course as well.
Oh.
So people that can't speak can use art as a way of expressing how they feel.
Yeah.
And use it as part of the healing.
I know that.
Well, that's very interesting because last week we had Mary talking about her company.
Yeah, well,
Oodle Doo.
Oodle-doo, cock-a-doo. Sorry, it's just that. But not the same, but it's based on therapeutics. I did the diploma in art therapy and did counselling and stuff like that. So it's really interesting because I did work with dementia and things like that. So I worked with foster carers and stuff. We're doing and different types of charities. I'm not going to babble on about myself, but you know, I'm basically saying
you're on the same wavelength.
And it really works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
It's amazing.
It gives people a voice when they can't verbally speak.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting actually. I hadn't thought about in that context, but
Yeah.
yes, I guess
It is.
How long have you been doing that for?
So I have been building myself up for the last 15 years.
Wow. And you're based in Bournemouth, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So you focus on people with this type of work that can't actually verbally say anything at all?
Well, they can speak, but they find it too difficult to maybe say certain things.
Yeah.
So if they're struggling with a certain emotion, but they can't vocalise that emotion, they can put it down on a piece of paper.
Yes.
And that way they get to express how they feel, and it's an outlet.
This is, I guess, similar to what the police sometimes use, isn't it? Like trauma cases, especially in young children, for example, I guess.
Well, the art therapy's been around for longer than people realise, and it does actually tap into, you know, when children or any person who's got something that's inside traumatic.
Spit it out, girl. Go on.
Spit the dog. You know, even as artists ourselves, we use it as a way of expressing, and it does. It's all the colours and the way they do the work and everything like that. And you don't. It's a really nice way of being. Not a nice way, but it does. You can see a lot through someone's paintings or drawings or what they do, because you have set tasks that they do. That I mean, how would you conduct a particular?
So there's a program. So we base it on a lot of scientific medical evidence, so doing things like hierarchy of needs. You know, some people don't know what that means.
I have no idea what that means.
So hierarchy of needs means that you have certain levels. So it starts off with the basic food, water, shelter, then it goes up to employment and skills and hobbies, and then it goes up and up and up. Until they get to a place where it's self-care, and then self-care covers all of it. So hierarchy of needs is really, really good foundation to start with.
So what sort of age range are the people that come to you?
The groups that I've run are normally between the age of 25 to 40, 50. So it's quite wide. It's a wide range.
And is it they have a problem verbalising because they have mental health problems, or is it because they're physically unable to vocalise? Both.
Yeah, I mean, it can be challenging for anyone sometimes, you know, even myself. I find it hard vocalising, so I put it down in my artwork. And it gets exactly what I need to get out.
which leads us pretty neatly, I think, onto your artwork, because you're an artist as well.
Yeah.
So you brought a couple of pieces in. I'm fascinated by this. Tell us about this. This is
I'm
beautiful.
going to do this. I'm
move
not
this
going to drop
away.
it.
What-
So this is a wire tree sat on a wooden base. The wooden bit that has got roots wrapped around it is was found in the sea on the beach.
What, this?
This bit.
The top wooden
This
bit.
one.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
beautiful. So you found that on the beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's on a wooden base because I like to mix the man-made with the natural.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. I love the curves of it.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it amazing when you find things in nature already saying something to you? Really,
Yeah.
it obviously said something. You saw, wow.
Yeah.
So did you varnish this and coat it? Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put a bit of wood protector on it so
Yeah.
that it doesn't rot.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
varnish
going to turn it around if that's okay.
I don't know. I keep thinking of bonsai when I look at this.
Yeah.
I really do keep thinking of bonsai.
Yeah.
You're going to think I'm crazy. I keep thinking of Karate Kid 3, actually.
Wax on, wax off.
No.
Wax on, wax.
And I'm not being funny here,
What,
but
Karate Kid 3?
I think it was 3. Yeah, it was the one where he goes to Japan and the bonsai is on the cliff face. Yeah, you know the one I mean.
Wax on, wax off.
I'm quite sad actually that I even know this, but I did see it on Netflix, I think, recently. But it reminds me of the bonsai tree because it was in a weird place and an inhospitable place.
I get it. I get it.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
And this, how did you make this?
So there's about 100 pieces of wire there.
I'm gonna go in if
all
that's all right.
entwined.
Yeah.
And then each bit has to be individually turned.
Because it's, I don't know
Whoa,
if you
that
can see
would have
this.
taken ages.
Yeah, because
So,
it's all.
I can't touch it because
I don't think. Yeah, you can probably see it's all like tiny little curls, circles of the wire.
that would have taken ages.
Yeah. So that one took me about a month to do.
Wow.
Just because it's literally you're with one tool only, twisting and twisting and twisting.
Yeah.
No, I do a bit of jewellery making, and it's a real pain in the neck, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually very time consuming, and it starts to hurt your fingers quite a lot after a while.
Yeah.
So,
it's, I always try to get the trees to look like they would outside.
Yeah.
So looking at the way the branches come off the trees and the way the trunk is shaped.
So this is a theme of yours that you do a lot of trees.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I do a lot of trees, and they're called wings and roots.
Wings and roots. Okay.
So the philosophy behind that is, if you want to go anywhere in life, you have to grow deep roots.
That's true.
If you've grown deep roots, you can grow up to be stronger.
Right.
And you grow to a place where you're able to fly off, but you've always got a place to come back to.
Your roots,
So that's the meaning behind all of my trees.
So you do a lot of, when you say the trees, do you do a lot of this type of sculpture, or is this a one-off, or is it unique? Or
so that one is, I can never do the same tree twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Every tree that I do is absolutely different. The materials I use are different. So I use copper, I use steel.
So you're more of a sculptor than just a painting artist, because I thought the examples you sent me through were all flats, the paintings. So I assumed you were a painting artist. But
Yeah,
you're actually more
I
of
do
sculpt-
both.
Yeah.
I actually do both equally. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an unusual structure, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated with the wood part because it does look like there's a lot. It's almost, for me, as you say, I suppose it is the deep roots, but then it's got this kind of like an emotional stuff. So it's a lot of an emotional thing going on here.
Yeah, it's an emotional connection to the earth.
Yeah, and then it sort of just comes out. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's really interesting. I think I know we've showed it. I'll pull it up again, but
I like the fact that you've used something that has been found
Yeah.
as well.
but
I'm very much into recycling and using recycled materials.
Yeah. No,
well, it's very important nowadays, and as artists as well. I mean, we were talking about the album, weren't we? And did you? I don't know if you've seen it, but what was it called?
I can't remember,
but it was a recycle thing. It was really great. Like you basically, every album you buy, money goes back into the plantation.
Yeah.
And what we do as artists, I think we should be very conscious of things like that. Because all our materials we are synthetic as well.
Well, you know what? This leads us onto quite an interesting and possibly controversial point. Paint.
Yes, paint.
Because there's been quite a lot of controversy in the art world recently about the blackest black. Or the pinkest pink, whatever, okay? And I actually read up about this black. Apparently there's a bit of a controversy going on at the moment with some very famous artists in the art world about who has the right to use the blackest black, and apparently only one artist has, because he's gone direct to the maker and he's the only one that's allowed to use it. But this black is lethal.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really, really dangerous for you. And there have been, I know with the other artist, with one of the other paints that they've been using recently, I'm not naming anybody, but he's been warning people about the side effects of the fumes coming off. Because the one that's got the blackest black, that was actually used for stealth bombers, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, so it's black for a reason, because you don't want to be seen.
So yeah, wow.
So paint fumes,
yeah.
I mean, they're not good for the environment.
No,
they're not.
I mean, I don't know how we could get around that. I mean, there must be. Maybe we've got a market here. We've got.
Is anybody out there that can produce an eco-friendly paint?
Yeah.
I mean,
there are ways of using plants.
Natural plants.
Yeah, and just drawing out the colours out of the plants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you're quite limited. I mean, that comes back to fabrics. I mean, years ago, people would have been mainly in browns and greens because those are the easiest dyes to produce naturally, aren't they? I had this conversation with Leo actually the other day. Purple is expensive for a reason, because it's very hard to resource in ancient years.
Yeah, but then, you know, beetroots. I mean, I've used beetroots in the past. So I've boiled beetroots and I've then pushed them through in a blender and then
used it,
and it created
the most. I know that on your fingers.
Yeah, definitely stones.
It created the most beautiful effect.
It did, yeah,
because it was so natural.
Well, you know the one, you know, like orchids, with the stamens, when the pollen falls off. If you've ever had that, stains completely orange.
Does, yeah.
So
yeah, I suppose it is, and I mean, even things like herbs, like turmeric and things. I'm sure you could make that into paint.
Yeah.
But I think we're having a bit of a market research going on here.
If anyone from the paint industry is looking, there is definitely a niche here.
It would be really interesting, wouldn't it?
Because at the end of the day, do we really need to use paint for our vanity that's the blackest black or the whatever when it's so toxic?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No.
That's interesting.
No, I don't think so.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my controversial point over.
I've got a controversial point. Well, it's all good. We like this. If you want to comment on that, that would be great.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go and put in the blackest black artist and you'll see the fight that's going on at the moment in the international art world.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm going to bring this piece up. Before we got...
we got a bit carried away down the coast. Sorry about that. We like to bring up plants.
Tell us about this.
I've got the right way up, but not yet.
Yeah, you have.
Because I'm being...
She just had somebody's piece up upside down the other day. That was a bad moment.
That was quite funny. Oh, it's the other way around. Oh, for goodness sake.
Anyway.
So, a lot of my art is based on my faith.
Right, okay. So you have strong religious faith?
I do. I have a very strong faith.
Okay.
Is that Christian faith?
Christian
I have to ask
faith.
because there are so many faiths these days.
Christian faith. And this piece was...
I didn't want to hold your face.
The lion is often used as a representation of Jesus or
the lion,
God or what
I was going to
have you.
ask you about this actually, because I noticed you had quite a few lions in the pictures you sent me, and I wanted to ask you why the lions.
Yeah, so the lion is quite representative of Jesus.
Okay.
And I just wanted to kind of just put a twist on it and put nature in it, because for me, everything was created by God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the sun and you have the planet in one painting there. And I've used, the colours I've actually used are glow-in-the-dark colours.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
So it takes a completely different shape.
Oh, it's a shame we couldn't do that, demonstrate that, isn't it? Yeah. Shame we couldn't demonstrate that.
What media is this?
So this is a mixture of watercolour, acrylic and pens.
Okay.
This one with the gold almost looks like a stencil kind of effect, or a print over the top.
It's kind of, that's how I've made it look.
Oh, you made it look like a stencil. Yeah. Oh, wow.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks like a stencil, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, lovely. And have you done a series of these then, these kinds of... Lions.
Yeah, I love doing my lions, but I don't.
I did put one on the website actually. If you have a look on the
Yeah.
website, there's another example.
I don't like doing lions as if they're a portrait. I like to change them up a bit and give them a different depth, because I think then people get different things out of it. So it could be a message to me saying one thing, but to another person it could be saying something completely different.
You're right. Yeah,
So,
art is like that.
Yeah.
We actually discussed this quite a while ago. How we'll do a piece, and you know, people always want you to psychoanalyse yourself, but a lot of the time, it's if a person gets drawn to something, it's for their own purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they get drawn to it for their own thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with art. We look at a piece of our own. And actually, honestly, if I'm completely honest, I've forgotten what the meaning is when I've done it.
Yeah.
I've swapped it around so many times, and I've completely lost the plot with it, really. And I become removed from it in a way. When I'm doing it, I get absorbed in it. I don't really know what the idea is.
Yeah.
But then when someone else sees it, it evokes an emotion.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's interesting, isn't it, when we're told to analyse it, but actually...
It's not up to us to analyse it, because people are going to have their own views on it.
Exactly.
You know what? This reminds me of a story. For years ago, I was in a famous art gallery. I think it was someone in London, and I happened to overhear the tour guide talking about a very famous painting. Can't remember which one it was for the life of me now, but it was one of those iconic paintings, huge landscape. And he was going on to the tourists about, you see the clouds painted like this because he was feeling the tumultuous nature of society at the time, and it reflects his angst about. And I'm thinking, and I thought, you know what? It was probably just quite a bad day, and he quite liked it.
It is interesting,
but
isn't it?
It is interesting because what one person perceives and reads into a painting is completely different from something else, isn't it?
You have to note it, don't you?
Yeah, you know.
This is why art's so special, isn't
It
it?
is, because, you know, it can evoke so many emotions.
Yeah.
And it can touch your heart in different places without you even expecting it to, you know. And that's why I don't like sticking to your normal portrait styles. Yeah. Because I want people to connect with my art. I want them to know that, you know, I often say it's art from the heart for the heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you, because, I mean, these two are very different pieces. How much would you say you split your time between the painting and the sculpture, or do you tend to go more towards the sculpture?
No, it's about equal time.
Is it about equal?
Yeah, it's about equal. It depends what mood I'm in on the day. I have 4 projects on the go.
Do you?
Yeah.
And I swap
Depends which one you want to do.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How did you, have you always been quite creative? Is there a background? What's your background in?
I didn't actually start. The backstory a bit for me was at school I was actually kicked out of art.
Okay.
And I was kicked out of art in year 7 and wasn't allowed to return.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Did I ask why? Did you?
My art teacher had the unpleasant experience of my 2 elder sisters. And she'd expelled both of those.
Wow.
Right.
She made the connection between me and them, and was very much, I'll be expelling you by the end of the year.
That's quite unpleasant.
Which
Just
was,
giving them a chance.
It's a bit awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, teachers back in the day, I remember getting told I was ugly and going to the naughty girl corner for lunchtime.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop laughing.
So, yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound like Mary, does it?
No, but I'm just relating.
Yeah.
But, okay, carry on.
Yeah. And then it wasn't until I came to faith that I started painting.
Okay.
And I didn't even know that I could. I just started. It's weird. It sounds weird. It's almost like I can see the picture on the canvas already, and I'm just adding colour to it.
Yeah.
And you think that happened to you when you became a Christian?
I do. I strongly believe that.
Okay.
Strongly. I never picked up an art brush or a pen up until that point.
It is quite strange, isn't it? These things happen. Art can be. It's so spiritual.
Did you use art then as a type of healing for yourself?
No,
You just absolutely just Because I'm thinking, because your relationship, because you do the art, is there a connection? But it was just literally you picked up a pen. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You know, I can remember the day I went to church. I came home and I just started drawing.
Really?
And
just
so how long had you been going to church before you started painting?
About 6 months.
Really?
So, yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you haven't stopped since?
No. No, I just grown to the point my living room is now my studio.
And you have so much paintings in there. It's getting big. You're like climbing, you know, it's like swimming through it almost.
I think we can all relate to that.
I know. I think we're definitely all like that.
I need to redecorate our living room because I've put splattered so much blue everywhere.
I mean, have you exhibited anywhere? Or
I exhibited at a Christian event called New Wine.
Okay.
I went there and did a week where I exhibited. I did an exhibition for a charity.
Okay.
I'm now in the midst of thinking about, okay, it's time to do a proper solo exhibition.
That would be fantastic.
So, yeah.
In Bournemouth?
Yeah. And just the idea is I'm hoping to rent an empty shop space for a week.
Yeah,
one of those pop-up shops.
Yeah. And then just have the exhibition in there. And
that'd be great.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot. I mean, they are doing that with a lot of the empty shops, aren't they?
Yeah.
Around town, I don't know. Around Bournemouth, I think
they
do like the pop-up shops.
There's a place in Westover Road, I think, that does that quite a lot. You can rent it by the week.
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
I saw a note on there the other day, a big sign saying rent this space for a week. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's Westover. It's somewhere all the really posh shops used to be.
Oh yeah, used to be.
Yeah.
There was a couple, I suppose, but it's not.
There are a couple of galleries there, I think, still, or one gallery still.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good idea. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been doing Bournemouth Gardens. I've done a couple.
The makers.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that next week.
Yeah.
So come and see us.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do that.
We're going to
be there next week.
Yeah, on Friday. So if you fancy meeting us,
Mary,
if
you want to meet us, and
we're going to be there on Friday showing our stuff.
We are.
And
hopefully
selling some of it.
Hopefully selling some of it. I'm frantically trying to do some paintings that one. Because a lot of my stuff's quite big, and just kind of just trying to do small ones and stuff. But we're not prepared.
It's hard staying at that size,
isn't it?
It is.
Do you do bigger than this?
I do a lot bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the biggest one I've got is about the size of that mirror.
Really?
Oh,
okay, so Mikala's pointing at a mirror that is about 1.5 meters by a meter.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit taller.
Yeah. So it's quite a big piece.
Yeah.
But it's nice being able to do that size,
I love
isn't
it.
it?
I can almost roll around in it, to be quite honest.
Oh, do you know what? I always wanted to do that. Throw paint, run around in it.
Yeah, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
It would be such a great idea. You get a great big canvas.
Yeah.
Right. Chuck a load of paint all over yourself and just fall of it.
Yeah, or just
How
chuck paint around.
That? Yeah. I mean, you just get quite a kick out of it.
Do you know what? When I was younger, I used to want to eat the paint. That was quite worrying, actually. That's quite a worrying stage I went through. I actually didn't, I have to say, but I wanted to. It was... I'm not sure what that says about me.
Yeah.
Maybe best not to analyse that one.
Yeah. So this was done in 2021.
Yeah.
How did you find lockdown with this? Was it all right for you? Or?
Lockdown was really hard.
Yeah.
Obviously, buying my materials, the cost went up suddenly because I couldn't go to the shop to get the stuff.
Yeah.
It was really tough, but it kept me going.
Yeah.
Definitely kept me going.
So.
I was classed as as a vulnerable person, so I had to self-isolate the entire time.
So you're by yourself the entire time?
Yeah.
That would have been, very tough.
Very
art was kind of the only thing that I could do without going insane.
I mean, especially for the vulnerable, it was a very difficult time for people that couldn't even go out.
Yeah.
You weren't even allowed to go out, were you?
Did you have a garden? Do you have a garden that you could actually get outside in space?
I live in flats, so it's a communal garden, so there was the risk of no.
That's really tough.
But art got you through it, and obviously your cat.
Yeah.
Are you a cat?
Cat.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a cat.
Because we had a chat about cats
All right.
beforehand before the show.
Okay.
Obviously, I've got my meals out. Yeah, there's meals, drinking herbal tea with her paw.
This was probably while I was boiling the kettle then, probably.
You're boiling the kettle. But you've got a cat, haven't you? So that obviously was a great...
They're very therapeutic cats.
Very therapeutic.
I have to say, apart from if you don't buy them enough food or the wrong food, then they're not therapeutic. They're like the monster from hell.
Well, mine's like that 99% of the time.
They can be terrible, can't they?
Oh,
I mean, mine's attacking me now. She's starting to do this whole. She gets all cuddly and like all cosy. Then all of a sudden she attacks me. Like literally pounces.
I haven't told you.
Grabs my arm. Look, I've got the scars to prove it. It's like literally going like that. Goes like this, and she looks at me like this, and I go no. She goes.
Well, I haven't told you yet, but ours caught a seagull a
Oh,
couple
no.
of days ago. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen with a cat. Yeah. Couldn't get it through the cat flap, fortunately.
Can you imagine this cat trying to get the cat flap with this seagull? Is yours not violent as well?
No, she's an indoor cat mostly.
You're probably lucky.
Yeah.
Well, mine's to be fair, mine is, but she's got a bit of a temper on her.
Yeah.
Very big temper. Is it a girl or a couple?
Little girl. Yeah.
They are nice.
Cute. I
Which
suppose
guess
that's
is
why
when they are. Well, you've got the
the
thing with the lion as well, even though it's Christian.
you've
But
got
yeah.
cat who are drawn to the cat world.
Not really.
No,
No.
it just so happens.
No.
I don't know why. I'm like Catwoman. You're Catwoman. I'll just say you're a Catwoman.
I noticed in your paintings as well, there were two themes I wanted to ask you about. One was the lion, which you've covered, and the other one is the Virgin Mary, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that piece, and it was very cathartic and therapeutic for me to do that piece. And it turned out way better than I even could have imagined.
Yeah.
And sold the day after
Oh, really?
I
Did you
set
sell
it
it?
up. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a link to a page or?
Yeah, so I'm
That's where you
MJ Spiritual Designs.
Yeah, okay.
I have Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I have my own website that's in the process of being made.
Oh, that's good.
Because when we do these videos, as you know, they're saved forever on the Facebook group, but then we also have a YouTube account as well.
Yeah.
So a few days after the video, usually, Mary gets the video.
Usually I get the
uploaded from
video
me.
and put it up, yeah.
And Mary
then
puts it up.
I'll put the links up as well. I'm like, oh, who knows?
So it'll all be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to close now.
Are we? Okay.
Because I have a lesson
It's
actually.
just, yeah, it goes so quick.
It does. Well, it's because we're just chattering. So we do have guests for next week.
We do, yeah.
If you would like to be one of our guests in the future, please just drop us a line.
Yeah.
And do come and see us next Friday in the gardens. We're going to be there. So
Yes, come and have a look, come and visit.
Come visit.
I'm just going to pop that up
I
again.
love the colour of this one. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think purple's
Raw. If you feel a bit raw, there's another. It's cute, isn't he?
Yeah, it's lovely.
He's lovely.
But
Aw.
thank you very much.
Thank
Mikala,
you
for
so
coming
much.
in.
It was
Because
amazing.
it was a bit of a disaster with Mikala because she was supposed to be on a couple of weeks ago, well,
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, wasn't
We were
it?
trying to do the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
weren't
We were
or
trying to do it
whatever was.
online.
Oh no, it
Oh,
just
man,
completely
it just
didn't
completely
work.
messed up.
So I'll forget
So
it.
I think, yes.
It's good that you came in person and thanks
Yeah,
for
it's
being
much
patient
better
with
when
us.
people
It's
come in
really
person
good.
anyway. But
It's
so lovely to meet you.
I lovely
And
talking
you.
to you as well.
So we'll see you next week with some more people. I know I don't get the timetables up very quickly, but you'll have to bear with me. But if this is all voluntary, remember? We're not doing this for any
Yeah,
money.
no, yeah.
So anyway, have a great week and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.